Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in my garage. You guys, does anybody recognize that reference? That's a throwback. Ty Lopez. We're here to talk about knowledge. No, I'm actually doing a little bit of lifting today, in the garage with I just have a barbell in here and like some mats and some weights. And I'm gonna see if I can hit 135, see if I can get some reps curling 135. See if we can do that. Now form cells are gonna be seething in the comments watching my form on this. Now this is pretty heavy for me. You know, I'm not a big guy. I only weigh like 170 something pounds and I'm 6'1", so I'm extremely lean, which is actually advantageous for what I do at work. You know, if I were a big 200 pounder, I wouldn't be able to very effectively sort of climb around on trusses and things where I need a lot of balance. The more bulky you get, the less agile you are. Unless you're, what's that guy, Juji something? Juji Mufu? That guy, you can do the splits and he's like a massive bulbous guy. But let's see if we can hit this. That's first thing in the morning. I've got about 700 calories in me. Well, we only got 3 today. Okay, but last night, I uploaded that video last night, and about whether God ordains evil or whatever. And I woke up in the middle of the night, about like 2 a.m. And I think it was because my phone was on. I think that the microwaves, the waves were hitting me and they woke me up. But they also implanted a little thought in my head. It was this. I was thinking about what got me into weightlifting. And it's actually the 1990 something anime Berserk, which is obviously a manga. And I haven't read all the manga. I've read pretty much just the Golden Age arc, whatever. But I was thinking about Guts. I was like, man, Guts is so cool. He's got awesome physique. He's tall like me. He's tall and lanky, kind of. So I'm like 6'1", 6'2". I don't remember. I haven't measured in a while. But it's like Guts, he's a cool guy. But he's always suffering. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Oedipus. It's like nothing goes right for Guts in Berserk, you know? It's kind of like Oedipus. He's like fated. Which then I got to thinking, I was like, man, he's kind of like Oedipus, but Oedipus was fated to have sex with his mother and kill his father. Now with Guts, it's a little bit the opposite. He has sex with his father and kills his mother. Probably not. Not so much. He was like molested though by his dad, Gorbino, whatever. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember how this thing goes, but. And then his mom dies in childbirth, so he kind of kills her. But I was thinking about that anime. I was like, damn, man, that's such a good show. And like, how does Guts sort of put up with this suffering? And it's just like, he has no other choice but to just keep walking. You know, there are plenty of times where I listen to the Guts, the Gats theme, you know what I'm talking about, from like the anime or whatever. And I just walk in the rain, and I'm just like, but that's kind of what got me into lifting, was seeing how well, what's that guy, who wrote the anime, the manga? His name's like Yamamoto or something. Well, you know, later on in the series, Berserk. Yamamoto writes in that Guts, he gets this cool armor. So what does it call? It's like the Berserk armor. He gets pissed and he wears that thing. He's like, ugh! It makes him really powerful. But, so what this actually comes from, Yamamoto, or guys, I can't remember the dude's name. Yamamoto Mori or whatever. Memento Mori or whatever. So the armor is so powerful, and he wears it, but he's kind of trapped in it. It's kind of an addiction in a way, if you think about it. Now, the guy who wrote Berserk was actually addicted to Zen, like the Zen pouches. So he wrote that into Berserk. The armor is like an allegory for his Zens, you know? And that's how I feel too. The Zens make you like basically 100 times better, but like you can't stop doing them in a way, you know? Of course, I'm being facetious. But somebody was asking me about like lifting and stuff and what my routine is. At this point, you know, I used to be a lot more into it. I think at this point, I'm a little less into it. I do go to an actual gym, but most of the time I hate going to the gym. I would rather work out here in my garage. But basic split, okay? Monday chest, Wednesday back, Friday arms. We're doing it on Saturday though, because I was stupid yesterday and started drinking beer. And then Saturday legs. So we're kind of, are we gonna skip leg day? I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to combine the two today. But I don't have like a program. I just sort of do what I want within that time. And somebody asked me about my diet too. I've spoken about this before, so I don't really have much of a diet either. I have a fast metabolism, very fast, lightning fast. My father is in his 50s. He's lean and jacked. I just have decent genetics to stay lean all the time. You know, I used to try to bulk up, used to try slamming down food, never gained weight. I mean, when I started lifting, I think I started off, I was like six foot something and like 135 pounds. And then I put on like however many pounds of muscle if I'm now like 170 something, but still extremely lean. It's not my goal to be some kind of bodybuilder. I would just like to have, like in the Republic, as close to a very functional and strong body as I can, as well as a strong mind. That's more what it's about for me. So some of you might be like, well, this guy's retarded. He doesn't have a good routine. He doesn't have a good diet, yada, yada, yada. Well, different strokes for different folks. I don't think there's any one way of doing things. And if you were to ask somebody what the perfect ideal for their diet, for their, what is optimal? The optimal is whatever you find out is optimal for you. And it just depends on what your goal is, you know? But we'll do one more set. I'm gonna keep going after I quit recording, but I just want to briefly say something about lifting because people have been asking me about it. I used to do a lot of like deadlift and stuff. I actually started out lifting. I used to go to CrossFit, which some people will probably laugh at that. Give me a break. I started when I was like 12 something. My parents made me do it as like physical education because there's another lore drop. I was homeschooled, which means in homeschool you don't have a PE class and you don't have sports. So CrossFit kind of did both. So CrossFit kind of did both, and that started me off. And I had really good trainers who taught me about like Olympic lifts, like, you know, clean and jerk, snatch, deadlift, squat, all that stuff, front squat, back squat, all that good stuff. And that kind of taught me a little bit about my body, right? So this all goes back to the Republic. You know, physical education is there for a reason. And I think it's very important that you get a physical education when you're young, as well as when you're old. If you never got one when you were young, it's never, you know, you'll never start getting a physical education any younger. So you might as well do something. And when you put on some muscle, put on a decent amount, you know, if you're a rail thin guy like I was, not that I still consider myself quite rail thin, but at least I'm filled out more than I once had, you know. When you get a decent amount of physical education, you will start to look at the world a little differently. You will start to understand your body a lot more. And it is rewarding to physically exert yourself. Now, I do this all the time at work, you know. I'm constantly lifting things at work all the time. This is partially why I'm not some kind of bodybuilder, because my job requires that I burn a whole lot of calories. I have a fast metabolism already, so try eating a ton. It's extremely hard, okay? But that's what it is for me. I like lifting. You know, it's just a part of the routine, and it feels nice to do. So that's what it is. But Berserk is guts. You know, I think guts got like a ton of people into lifting, honestly, just because it's like such a chiseled physique. Now at this point, I look at the sort of Greek statues and I'm like, oh man, I want to be that. But also guts. Guts is awesome. But I think that's it for the video.